Hi, my name's Andrea Fisher, and I'm a new member of Christ Our Shepherd. Prior to joining COS, I grew up very active in my church, which is also an ELCA church located in Greenville, South Carolina. During elementary school, church participation was driven by my parents. I went to church, Sunday school, elementary age youth group, and volunteered at the church. However, when I went into middle school and moved up to the big youth group, that is when going to church events was not driven by my parents. It was driven by the relationships I made at church. During my sixth grade year, I was lucky enough to have a wonderful interim youth director, Amanda Cook. Amanda made me feel welcome, included, and comfortable coming to the youth events for 6th through 12th graders. And through that youth group, 5 of us girls got super close. The 5 of us went to 4 different middle schools and then 5 different high schools. We went from only seeing each other at church events to sleepovers on Saturday nights just so we could go to church with each other in the morning. And ultimately, we ended up joining each other's family vacations. The only connection we had was our church, but I think that's what made us so close. We all grew up and went to 3 different colleges and then began our careers. Only one of us stayed in Greenville. Even though we only see each other a few times a year and live hours away from each other, we have come together for support in the worst of times and also been there to celebrate the best of times. 2 of us have gotten married. I was the maid of honor for one, and our group was a something blue for the other. And we just threw our first church girl baby shower. I'm so thankful for my South Carolina church for giving me this group of girls I get to do life with. So when I moved to Georgia in 2020 for my first job, there was a gap in my life that I knew only a church could fill. I was interested in Christ Our Shepherd initially because you all were a good-sized ELCA church. However, I knew it was a great place to be when I found out about the youth and children ministry. Since I've started coming to COS, I've seen and heard the great things that Ingrid, the director of Children and Family Ministries, and Melissa, the director of Youth and Family Ministries, do for the children and youth at COS. Ingrid has done great with the Kids Corner at Oktoberfest and taught children about tithing with Halloween candy. Melissa told all about the fantastic youth trip this past summer and more recently led a wonderful Oktoberfest meal fundraiser for the youth. I'm so glad COS has Ingrid and Melissa to nurture the COS kids' relationships. I firmly believe my church experience growing up drove me to find a church as a young adult in a new area, while so many of my young adult peers unfortunately lack a church home. This year, I'm looking forward to submitting my faith giving intent for the first time in my life. What COS, Ingrid, and Melissa are doing is so important and personal to me. I invite you to join me in submitting an intent, even if you've never done one before like me. Everyone's faith-giving intent matters and counts towards our goal of 140 intents. As someone who is a product of an ELCA church youth program and a wonderful church family, thank you for your support to the children and youth ministries and to Christ Our Shepherd.